I love your hat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings to each and every one of us. We welcome you to today's webinar, and this platform is Deep Dive. We are here on a beautiful Tuesday. It may be your morning, it may be your afternoon or your evening, but we welcome you and we are starting our webinar now. Today is Tuesday, April 15, 2025. The webinar will start with a signature tune, In It to Win It, by Sister Lerato Shadare, one of our global ambassadors who has decided to share that musical angelic voice of hers with us. And Dr. Derek has taken a lot of effort in putting the nonverbal communication of that tune in the song. So please let's thank Dr. Derek as he plays In It to Win It by Lerato Shadare.
Your next stop is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. You know, I'm jealous because that tune, the nonverbal communication images that you shared towards the end at the train station, I could see Dr. Mrs. John Ajongwen at the train station in Dubai. I keep wondering, will there be a day that I'll find myself there? Anyway, that's a question for the future, but I always dream of seeing that particular train stop. Well, that will take us to our mindsets. Where are we right now? If I'm dreaming of being in a place where my sister and brother have been, do I have the opportunity of going there someday? I think I can. I think we can. I think we will. So let's hear from our mindset speaker of the day, none other than Queen Dr. T. She always comes to us with outstanding topics, and today, the barriers on how that gets in the way of being and staying motivated. Wow, motivation is all we need now going forward. And just in case you have not been following us and do not know who we are, let me give you a little brief introduction of who Dr. T is. She is an international international transformational speaker. She's also a life coach, empowerment trainer, TV talk show host, and she has also published 4 books. She is also the editor and chief of Discovering You magazine. And this magazine, you can subscribe it for free. If you are in this webinar, it means you used a link to sign in. And the subscription URL for that magazine is available here as well as the option of getting access to any of her 4 books. But if for any reason you missed that, please, at the end of this webinar, do let us know. But without wasting your time, for those who are signing with data and limited access to the internet, let's welcome our one and only Queen, Dr. T. Thank you, Dr. T, for giving us your time today. The microphone is yours.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another exciting deep dive with Dr. Derek and all his friends. Yes, I'm excited about today's topic. We're talking about 12 common barriers that get in the way of being and staying motivated. How many of you know just how important it is to stay motivated, and especially during this time, especially what the world is going through right now? So many people are discouraged, they're oppressed, they're depressed, they have a lack of vision. They just don't know what to do. But what I want to do tonight, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, is to encourage all of you to stay on track. Don't get off the train. Stay on the train and let's keep moving, like that on passive train that Dr. Derek showed in the video that we just saw. Keep that thing going. Let's stay focused. But before we can do that, I want to just introduce to you some barriers that we want to try and avoid. And if we find ourselves facing these barriers, I want to give you some strategies to get out of it and stay out of it. But I want to just ask a question. How many of you know that energy is one of the most important commodities that God has given us? It's one of the most important commodities that we have. And when it's paired with motivation, it becomes the driving force that propels individuals to pursue goals, face challenges, and achieve success. How many of you knew that? That's very, very powerful. When you pair energy with motivation, it becomes the driving force that propels individuals to pursue goals, face their challenges, and achieve success. Motivation is a multifaceted and complex psychological phenomenon that thrusts individuals forward and towards their values, their goals, and objectives. Understanding the psychology of motivation provides insight as to why people behave in a specific way. I've always, since I've been a very young person, I used to always ask the question, why? What makes people do what they do? What causes them to pursue certain actions and have certain attitudes? I've always been the why person. And this all comes down to what motivates us, what drives us. Staying motivated can be challenging. This is true. Staying motivated can be challenging. Psychological, environmental, and social barriers often inhibit motivating, making it difficult for individuals to persist through challenges and having setbacks. And these are the things we want to try to avoid. So today, I'm going to share with you part one of the 12 barriers, 12 common barriers that get in the way of being and staying motivated. Again, our objective is no matter what's going on right now in our lives and things going on around us or in the world, we want to stay in tune. We want to make sure we stay on track because we have a goal. We want to make sure that we become the world changers that we all desire to be. This is the reason why Mr. Ashman Farr, he started on passive, because he wanted us to make sure that we were going to come in and be world changers, that we're going to have an impact on people who are all over the world. And we cannot do that if we lack motivation. That's why I want to encourage you all to stay in the game, stay on the train, and move forward. So let's look at some of the barriers that we can look at tonight. The first one that I want to share with you all is something that may be common to most of us. I'm pretty sure that all of us have faced this barrier from time to time. I know I have. I can give you some stories. But the first one is fatigue and burnout. This is one of the first common barriers of being motivated. Fatigue and burnout. Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions? Have you ever just felt numb? Like you just didn't want to play the game anymore. You just wanted to check out. I'm not talking about die of physical death, but you just didn't want to be involved anymore. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever just felt like that? Fatigue and burnout is physical and emotional exhaustion. It can severely reduce motivation, which can impact the ability to stay focused and adequately complete a task. Burnout often results from prolonged stress, high demands, or a lack of adequate breaks, leading to reduced performance, low energy, and an overall sense of disconnection from one's goals. And if you've ever been there, that's one of the worst places to be. I remember years ago when I started my ministry, my business ministry, Your Own Uniqueness, one of the things I did often was where I did women's conferences. And it was a very, very large task because I didn't really have a really active board. You know, being a small organization, I didn't really have a large board. And the board of directors that I had, they weren't really that active with me. I did most of the work. And oftentimes that happens. So I found myself in a situation where I was doing these conferences, and they were very nice and they were very well attended. But I was doing all the work. And I remember the last one that I did many, many years ago, I became so burned out that I just couldn't do it anymore. I just pushed it away. I stopped it. I mean, it was a feeling of being overwhelmed. I felt numb. I felt disinterested. It was just a lot of things going on at that time. So I had to leave it alone. I had to step away from it. And this is what happens sometimes when you feel fatigued and you feel burned out. So now I want to be able to share with you some strategies to overcome this barrier of feeling fatigued and burned out. One of the things you can do is to step away from the stressful activity. Step away from it. And if you have different tasks to do, try to delegate some of those responsibilities. Oftentimes, we want to micromanage things. Sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that can do something. And what you find yourself doing is burning yourself out and finding yourself being fatigued. Another one is to get away from those familiar environments that make you feel disinterested. Go on a vacation, take a weekend trip, do something different, but get away from that environment that seems to stress you out. Another thing you can do is just take a hiatus. That's what I did. When I finished doing that last particular conference, I took a hiatus for years. That's when I started my TV show. That's when I started writing my books and doing other things. I didn't even do conferences anymore. And that may be something that you have to do. You may have to just change your environment and just change the activity. And the last thing you might want to do to combat fatigue and burnout is to make sure that you're getting plenty of rest. Sometimes you want to burn the candle at both ends and stay up late. Stop doing that. Try to go to bed at a decent time. Turn off all the electronics and get yourself some rest and give your body some rest that it needs. So these are the things that you can do. These are some of the strategies that you can practice to overcome fatigue and burnout. So that's the first common barrier to motivation. The second one that I want to share with you tonight, fear of failure. Have you been there and done that? Fear of failure. How many of you, if you're honest with yourself and be transparent, how many of you have missed out on so many opportunities, so many doors that have been opened because you were afraid? And so therefore you lack the motivation to go through the door because you had already made up in your mind that this was unsurmountable, that this particular task was not for you. You were not going to be able to achieve it. And many of the times you find yourself procrastinating and you lose self-confidence. Fear of failure is often rooted in a belief that mistakes define one's abilities. Mistakes do not define one's abilities, but oftentimes you make this thing bigger than life. So you find yourself not being motivated, not because you don't want to do it, it's because you're afraid of it. You've already put stumbling blocks in front of yourself and said, I can't do that. That's something that I will never be able to achieve. I will not be able to do it. So you find yourselves shying away from great opportunities. I know I'm guilty of that. There have been many doors, and I hate to say it, I'm just being transparent. There have been many doors that I did not go through because I was afraid. I already built things up in my head. I had already completed the scenario before I even lived through it. Therefore, I didn't go. Therefore, the motivation went down because I did not understand that failing was part of the process, but I didn't even try. So therefore, I failed before I even tried. And how many times do you find yourself in that situation? So remember, fear of failure is often rooted in a belief that mistakes define one's abilities, making individuals feel anxious about attempting difficult tasks or pushing their limits. And that's something we did really try to stay away from, ladies and gentlemen. So that's number 2 barrier, the fear of failure. What are some of the strategies that we can do to overcome this barrier? Some of the strategies that we can use is to start confessing positive affirmations. Start with scripture. One of my favorite scriptures, of course, is you can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I am the head and I'm not the tail. I'm above and I'm not beneath. And greater is he that's in me than he that's in this world. And how a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So how do you begin to see yourself? Another thing you can do is start reading books about others who have overcome challenges. That's always been a game changer. Start reading books about people who have done things that seem to be unsurmountable. And think about yourself in those person's shoes and how they overcame challenges. When you read those books, that encourages you. And then start giving yourself little miniature goals. And when you achieve these things, begin to celebrate those things. Begin to celebrate those wins. And then the last thing I want you to do, these are strategies to overcome the barrier of fear of failure. Surround yourself with people who will encourage you and hold you accountable. Begin to share some of your goals with people who are going to hold you accountable, who are going to encourage you to go forth and do it. So again, the second one is the fear of failure. Again, we're talking about those barriers that hinder us from being motivated and staying motivated. Try to stay out of the arena of being afraid of failure, because you cannot fail if you don't try. If you don't try, then you don't do. And if you don't do, then why are you on this earth? Why are you taking up space? All of us have a purpose. We all have a mandate that God has given us. And we cannot continue to get off the bandwagon by not being motivated. So we find ourselves being fearful of failure and not putting one foot in front of the other and just trying, you will never succeed. And I'm pretty sure most of you right now on this webinar have found yourselves in situations, many of you, I know I have, I'm speaking to myself, where you did not take opportunities because you were afraid. So again, we want to dispel this barrier and we want to move forward so we can be the best person that God has called us to be. So number 2, the fear of failure. Number 3, limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. Our beliefs are formed by many factors, including how we were raised, the society that we live in, and our experiences. And I think the most important thing are our personal experiences. Limiting beliefs are often untrue, and they're conjured by external stimuli that we have internalized. This can really hinder our motivation. Much of this internalization occurs during our childhood. You know, the first 6 years of your life are your formative years. Your environment, the culture that you grew up in, and some of your experiences. Okay, as we develop the opinions and perceptions of others, they're very paramount. We get negative feedback, criticism, or lack of support from peers and family members can create self-doubt, lower self-esteem, and of course, reduce motivation. So those are limited beliefs. When we find ourselves not being able to thrive because we have limited beliefs, because we haven't gotten the whole picture, we find ourselves not really going forth and becoming the best person that we can be. So we want to make sure that we can dispel limited beliefs. Let me share with you some strategies that you can use to overcome this barrier. Work on changing your environment. Work on being around different type of people, positive people, people who are thriving, people who are open-minded, people who have a growth mindset. Read books to broaden your knowledge of the world. Sometimes some people feel like where they are is all there is. I know a man who told me that he would never go to Africa because everybody's riding around. And this is no offense to those who are Africans, because I've been there and done that. I've been to Africa. I've been to Nigeria. So I know how it is. This young man told me he would never go to Africa because they walk around in grass skirts and bones in their noses. You know, that's what he told me. I'm like, what? He actually believed that. Yes, Queen Benny, yes, Dr. Benny, he actually believed that. He actually believed that. So this man is going to miss out on the opportunity of seeing a wonderful continent and all the wonderful people all over the world because he feels like a certain group of people are grassroots and they're uncouth. And that's his belief. That's his belief. And that's just an example of what I'm talking about, limited beliefs. So start changing your environment. Begin to travel and see the world and see how other people live. There's a vast world out there. And there's so many things that we can draw from, we can glean from, and we can grow from. Okay, so these are things that you can do to dispel limited beliefs. We're talking about being motivated. If you have limited beliefs, you're never going to be motivated to do something different that you're familiar with. And you're going to stay stagnated, and you don't want to do that. So number 3, limiting beliefs. Number 4, attaching to a conceptual self. In other words, how do you see yourself? How do you conceptualize yourself? How do you see yourself? This could be a game changer. A conceptualized self is a type of cognitive fusion described in acceptance and commitment. An individual identifies with their thoughts and embodies them as a part of their identity. In other words, who am I? Who am I? Attached to the conceptualized self occurs when an individual fuses with thoughts, such as that they are a person who is depressed, they're worried, has significant challenges, or anything else that negatively impacts their identity. So in other words, they conceptualize themselves by how they see themselves. So if you want to be motivated, you've got to begin to see yourself the way God sees you. And I'm always going to think about God because a lot of times when we don't see ourselves the way he sees us, we conceptualize ourselves in a very negative light. Self-conceptualization plays a very beneficial role in creating greater self-confidence. But however, negative self-talk or giving into negative or unproductive thoughts can be harmful to one's sense of self-worth and therefore get in the way of your overall motivation. This is one of the ways, if you really want to be in a trap of being non-motivated, have a very low concept of yourself. You don't want to do that. And so many people have a very low concept of who they are. They feel that they're not good enough. They feel they don't have enough to thrive and to achieve. They find themselves being jealous and envious of other people. They find themselves comparing themselves because they don't feel good about themselves. Therefore, they're not motivated to do the best that they can do. How do we overcome that? What are some of the strategies to overcome this barrier? The first one is start reading books that pertain to positive thinking, changing your mindset, going through a paradigm shift. Attend transformational classes like this. Go to webinars, listen to podcasts, go to seminars, whatever you need to do to be around positive thinking people. And then also you can hire a transformational coach. Have somebody to work with you one-on-one and to talk to you about how to change your particular mindset. Remember, you do not want to stay in a position where you're not motivated. Like I said today, in today's world, there's so many things going on in our world, and we have to stay focused. And these are some of the barriers that will hinder us from being motivated. So again, attaching to a conceptualized self. In other words, how do you see yourself? How do you see your world? Is your glass half empty or is it half full? Do you see yourself being good enough or you see yourself not being good enough? Do you see yourself having the things that it takes to be an achiever or are you an underachiever? How do you see yourself? Is it negative self-talk or is it positive self-talk? These are the things that you want to be able to look at. So I'm going to stop right here. This will be part one, and I will give you all part two next week, and the third part the following week. But I just want to do an overview of some of the things that I've already covered with you, because you want to make sure that you understand that when you are doing this, when you're trying to stay motivated, you want to make sure that you dispel the first four that I shared with you all. And the first one, again, is fatigue and burnout. Remember, we're talking about barriers that get in the way of being and staying motivated. Barriers that get in the way of being and staying motivated. The first one is fatigue and burnout. The second one is fear of failure. Thirdly, limiting beliefs. And the last one I shared with you all today, number four, attaching to a conceptualized self. In other words, how do you see yourself? What do you think of yourself? What is your self-image? That's number four. And I believe if you can start dispelling these barriers and start applying the strategies, that you'll be well on your way to staying and being motivated. I'm Dr. T, and thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Hey, 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 Dr. T. Another beautiful, awesome, outstanding presentation. Thank you for nailing it. Before I could say anything, Queen Violet's hand is already up. That tells you, not only her, but Queen Tony, it tells you how motivated everybody is. I mean, you may think you've just shared 4 points. Even if you had to talk just about 2 of those 4 points today, I tell you, it's very, very, very transformational because I already see myself, my head has been spinning, thinking about all 4, or I narrow it down to 2 because my brain does not want to go beyond 2. So I'll pass it over to Queen Violet to speak and Queen Tony before I continue. Over to you, Queen Violet. Good evening, and how is Canada? Please proceed.
Canada is sunny today.
Awesome.
And what I found I found as I got older, I didn't really care what other people think about me. I told, because I'm so much older than, there's such a big difference between my son and I. When he was in school, and he'd come home and he'd be upset about, somebody didn't like his shoes or his shirt or something. And I would say, hon, you think, I know it's a big deal for you, and I know how you feel, kind of left out. But when you get my age, you couldn't give two hoots about what they think. And you know darn well how great you are before, anybody can say whatever they want, but you know how great you are. And I'll tell you, having friends that understand is another thing, because at church, sometimes I come in and I am so low. And if I say something to some people, like last Sunday, not this Sunday, but the Sunday before, somebody asked me, "How are you?" And I told them the truth. And she said, "You shouldn't be telling people like things like that in church." And so I talked with somebody else, and they said, "Yeah, not everybody can handle um, life the way you do." And she prayed with me and gave me hugs and stuff, and I got better. But that was a lesson learned. When they say, "How are you?" my usual answer now is, "Do you really care?" And some do, some don't. That's it.
Wow, thank you very much, Queen Violet. Um, wow, that really is heartbreaking. This is for those who are Christians in the platform, and I know our CEO is a Christian and believes in the divine intervention in our lives. If someone asks you how you are, and you share how you are, all they have to do is pray for you and not judge you. And I'm sorry if it happened adversely or in a way that you were not anticipating. But that's how I would take it. If I
I
ask you
know.
how you are, you tell me, I'll say, I'll pray for you. I'll have you in my list of prayer intentions, because I have a notebook where if someone contacts me and says, "Debbie, this is what's going through in my life," I say, "Okay, I'll have you in my prayers." I write the name down. And even if I don't do all of it on a daily basis, on Sundays, when I go to church and the priest says, now you can pray for your prayer intentions, I look at my list and I look at all those names and I pray for them, because I made a promise and they reached out. So that's how I handle it. But we are all human beings. We have our flaws and we just have to go with the flow, because every human being is so different, especially nowadays. If you're not the same age group, the vision that people see now is what AI is telling them to do.
Oh, for sure. This was not an AI person, and I was really surprised for that answer, because most of the time she's with me. She'll give me a Bible verse to, you know, meditate on or whatever. And but it was a lesson learned. It was definitely a lesson learned that not everybody can handle the way life is going for you. And it also depends on, like you said, how they were brought up.
Well,
You know,
absolutely, Queen Violet. So one of the presentations that Queen Dr. T made is surround yourself with people, individuals with the same mindset. If that person can read a scripture to you and turn around and not treat you nicely, you may have to reconsider.
yeah, she's definitely on the other side now.
Reconsider, because we have people flipping and flopping in life due to certain environmental issues. So we have to let go. All right. Thank you so much, Queen Violet, for sharing with us. And over to you, Queen Tony.
Wonderful, excellent presentation, Dr. T. And I could relate to practically all four, because there were a few situations where I was suffering from burnout, and exactly what you had outlined was exactly what I ended up doing. And I had bought a book called Burned Out, and those principles and solutions were part of that book. So, and then the fear of failure, I can relate to. I've missed a lot of opportunity myself because of fear, and still working on it. And just having the mindset of when I walk into a situation or a new opportunity, to walk into it with the attitude of not taking it as something hard, but something that I can do. Because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. But then it's also, we have to prepare ourselves as well. So the others, 3 and 4, are really, really great and so true. And so I really appreciate what you had shared with us, and very relatable.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Queen Tony. We appreciate you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I see Queen Violet's hand is up again. Back to you, Queen Violet.
I'm sorry. She reminded me of burnout. And burnout, something was wrong with me at one time, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me the medication that I needed for whatever it was that I went there for. And then she says, I want you to take 3 weeks off work. And I said, why? And she says, you sound very stressed. You're burnt out. And I said, I am? And that's like, you don't realize it sometimes. And the doctor actually gave me a paper to hand in and say that she's not coming in for 3 weeks. And I was surprised. And then, like, after I finished working with TTC, I was definitely burned out. And sleeping, I could sleep, 15 hours a day, but I had a little kid, so I had to be up. But as soon as he went to school, man, I went back to bed. And burnout is it's not nice. Let's leave it at that.
I hear you. Thank you so much for coming back, Queen Violet. Wow. If I have to go deep into, but I have to make this brief. But just to share with you all what Queen Dr. T shared with us, the fatigue, the burnout, the fear, the beliefs, and the limitation and attaching to, I will say, the first two, I identify with them. And the one about the beliefs, I have a very sad experience with one of my friends whose husband got up at 2 a.m. in the morning and would not go back to sleep because he wanted to see her tail come out. And they kept going back and forth. I said, what's wrong? I said, I was waiting for your tail to come out. That's a belief that after 3 years of marriage, he'd been expecting something and it did not happen. And then on the couple of days before their third anniversary, he said that, and my friend said that was the end of the marriage. And I left with the baby. So certain beliefs, you have certain beliefs, it's encoded in your memory, and you're trying to figure out how to deal with it. And well, do I believe in this? Do I not? So being naive is not an excuse. If you're naive about something, contact your neighbor and ask for some clarification. Anyway, I'll pause there and say thank you all. That was an outstanding topic for the day, Queen Dr. T. Yes, Dr. Benny, I was coming to you. So the microphone is yours. I was thanking Dr. T to come to you, but I saw your hand up. It's your turn. Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you so much. King Carlton. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this amazing webinar. I just want to welcome my queens and kings around the globe. As you all know, there is something that is very important to all of us. The air that you and I were breathing, we just want to take this moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing all of us together this evening. Did you know that you were going to get up in the morning? No. And did you know that by you going to work, you will come back? No. Well, as for me, I know a lot of people don't like me when I always talk about my father, but I will keep talking about him. And no one can stop me, just like Mr. Ash Mofare. He said that no one can stop unpassive except God. So no one will stop me from doing what I want except God. Thank you, Queen Debbie McCormick, for giving me this opportunity. I want to appreciate our one and only Queen Dr. T. Ford. Thank you for this amazing mindset based upon what? The 12 barriers that get into the ways of being and staying motivated. Hey, I want to be motivated. Now, in order for me to be motivated, I have to stay strong. I just have to not to take nonsense from anybody. There are a lot of people that they want to put you down. As Dr. T said, I believe you have to stay with like-minded people, and that is what I am going to do. I will make sure that I don't limit my way. I'm going to work hard to do what I want, believing that things are going to work out the way I want it to be. By me believing in it, I just have to first of all consult my father. And I believe the father that I have is your own father as well. I just want to thank God. And how do you see yourself? I see myself smiling. Right, Dr. T? I see myself smiling and believing that I would do something. Even though sometimes you may listen to some people that will say, don't do this, don't do that. But you have to sleep and think about it and say, if this person said don't do this, is it true? Is this person trying that I should not do certain things because they don't want to see me rise up or what? So I slept and I thought about it. I say, I'm going to come back here and present my cybersecurity. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. T. I would say extraordinary mindset. And hopefully we'll see you back next week with the next 4, right? Thank you. Thank you, Queen Debbie and King Dr. Derek, for this amazing platform.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you too, Dr. Benny, for always calling on our Creator, visible and invisible in His deeds. We do not necessarily have to see what He does for us, but He gives us strength on a daily basis. And you have rightfully appreciated His being. And this week, for those who believe, if you're a Christian, it's the Holy Week. We just went out of the Muslim Eid and all the celebrations, and now it's the Christians aspect of it. So let's continue to just honor one another's beliefs, and also not to forget atheists, because we have atheists in our lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just everything we have in our lives, from my vision, is temporal. So let's accept, embrace that, and move forward with our lives. But right now, we're moving to a very exciting segment of our webinar, which is called cybersecurity. And the one and only cybersecurity specialist, in my opinion, not only in Deep Dive and Dream Team and all the other forums, but in the entire On Passive, who has been doing this relentlessly, and for free, by the way, is our one and only sister, DrBenny. And cybersecurity, in where we are on the internet, AI and otherwise, is necessary. Even right where we are right now, you have to know your rights and how to deal with it. If you cannot read, have your children or your grandchildren help navigate for you. And if you listen to this and you do not know how to do it, the recording will be available. You can share with them. When I say them, I mean your children and grandchildren, to translate to you what Dr. Benny is going to train us about, because it affects people on a daily basis. You may not know, but in her line of duty, she knows. Dr. Benny is the one and only specialist in that field who gives her time to us for free. I'm not going to read the accolades about what she is, we know she has a PhD, we know she's certified in a lot of areas, but right now, please, let's put that on the side and hear what she has prepared for us tonight. And also thank her for all the previous presentations over the years since we all were in On Passive and the years to come. Thank you so much, Dr. Benny. We appreciate you, and the microphone is over to you, sis.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much, Queen Debbie McCormick. Thank you. As we all know, cybersecurity, I will keep saying it, cybersecurity is not only important within this organization, it is important all over the globe. So today, the topic is the cybersecurity tendency or the trends for small businesses in 2025. This is 2025. So as we move through the 2025, cybersecurity has become not just a tech, right, which is technology, but it is critical, right? It is a tech concern, but it is also critical a business survival strategy, especially for small businesses. I will soon give you some information about it. And one of them, as Queen Debbie talked about, artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence-driven security tools, it is being increasingly integrated into cybersecurity tools. So artificial intelligence can also dictate the anomalies and respond to threat or the threats in real time, and to help small businesses to reduce their reliance on manual monitoring. So what is the threat inside? Is that you have to expect to see more of the artificial intelligence based firewalls, which are being automated, threat dictation, and artificial, you have this chatbot, right? For phishing, stimulating, and training. So just give me some time. So let me share you my screen. Thank you all. There. Click on this, share. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all. Let's see. All right. As cyber threat continues to evolve.
Presentation mode, sis.
Okay, sis. Let's see this. I know you like this. Okay, as cyber threats continue to evolve, small businesses face unique challenges in protecting their digital assets. Staying ahead requires what? Proactive strategies and the right tools for artificial intelligence power attacks to new compliance regulations. So below, as you see, you can see the top cybersecurity trend in 2025 for small businesses that must be addressed, stated by Richard Delany. Okay. So, as you know, what is cybersecurity? So, this company, I used to work for this company, CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. So they themselves define cybersecurity as the arts of protecting what? Network. Queen David talk about network. I think Queen Dr. T also talk about networks. So the network, the devices that or the data from unauthorized, which means that if you are not authorized, you cannot touch anything, right? So unauthorized access or criminals use and the practice of ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. The information can also be data, right? So every organization like our own company uses some form of information technology, whether it's for what? Bookkeeping, for small businesses, tracking of shipments, service delivery, you name it today, my dear. That data has to be what? Protected. Cybersecurity measures, it ensures what? Your business remains secure and operational at all time, right? Artificial intelligence or power threats are growing. So cyber criminals are increasingly using artificial intelligence to launch sophisticated attacks, often viewed as what? Easy targets. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable to artificial intelligence-driven phishing scams, ransomware, and adaptive malware. Now, in order for you guys to protect against this advanced threat, small businesses should consider adopting artificial intelligence-driven cybersecurity solutions. Now, partnering with the best cybersecurity for small businesses in 2025 is a great idea as managed security services provider, which it can also provide a cost-effective access to enterprise-grade tools, enhancing protection without overwhelming budget. Now we talk about what is artificial intelligence? It's the theory and the development of computer systems that are being capable of performing tasks that historically require human intelligence, such as what? Recognizing your speech, making decisions, and identifying patterns. Now, artificial intelligence is an umbrella term that what? It encompasses a wide variety of technologies, including machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. When it comes to machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, which involve what? Training algorithm. Algorithm is like processes, right? On the data or information to make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed. It also includes what? Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcing learning. Deep learning, it is a type of machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers, hence deep, to analyze what? The various factors of data. It's particularly effective in tasks like images and speech recognition. Next is for you to prepare for quantum computing risk. Now, although quantum computing is still in the infancy stage, so it is a potential to undermine what the traditional encryption that will poise on long-term risk. Businesses handling sensitive customer data, you know that there are certain information for customers that are very sensitive, right? It has to be secured. Secure transactions should begin in transitioning to the quantum resistance. Now, early adoption of these technologies will ensure that your business is being prepared. Advancement before or become the mainstream. Unlike traditional computers that uses what? A bit. The quantum computer realized qubit, right? Compliance. Compliance is very important to a lot of organization. Somebody like an information security or information system security officer will develop documents, right? When you develop the documents based upon a certain systems, a compliance or a security control analyst or an auditor will be able to go to those particular systems just to perform an audit, making sure that it is, making sure that everything is perfect based upon NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So the new compliance standard are being introduced to combat an escalating cyber threat. In the US, the Cyber Incident Reporting for Critical Infrastructure Act mandates that businesses, they report cyber incidents within what? 72 hours by October of 2025. So if you have small businesses or any business at all, if an incident occur within your organization, please report it within 72 hours. Small businesses working in small chain or supply chain or industries like healthcare, finance, and retail must enhance what? Compliance practice. Investing in improving logging, incidents response plan. Well, as for that, I have created incident response plan and the vulnerability management that will what? Be essential to avoid penalties, right? Additionally, the frameworks such as GDP, HIPAA, it requires what? Small businesses to strengthen their data protection if indirectly regulated. Increasing scrutiny of supply chain security. Large corporations are now scrutinizing small businesses vendors for compliance. Businesses supplying goods or services to these enterprises must meet higher standards, such as what? Implementing zero trust, right? Zero trust. It means that you need to trust. Do not trust anything. Like, I don't trust this particular person because you don't really know what they have, right? Zero trust architecture and the endpoint detector response. Failure to comply with a result in lost contract, making supply chain cybersecurity the key focus for small businesses, what, in 2025. Affordable artificial intelligence solutions for defense. Artificial intelligence is not just a tool for cyber criminals. It is becoming an important resource for small businesses. In 2025, in which we are at the moment, affordable artificial intelligence-based cybersecurity tools will empower small businesses to monitor the threats, to automate security processes, and to respond to what? Incidents more effectively. Now, working with the managed service providers can simplify integrations and make enterprise-grade tools accessible, even for what? Companies with limited in-house resources. The cost of ignoring cybersecurity. Think about it. The cost of what? Ignoring cybersecurity. I do understand that there are a lot of companies who are trying to save money, but please, when it comes to cybersecurity, do not ignore. Failing to take cybersecurity seriously can lead to what? Severe consequences, including financial losses, reputational damage, legal and compliance issue, operational disruption, intellectual property theft. I don't have to explain all this, but how small businesses can protect. How can you guys protect yourself? Stay ahead of cyber threat. Small businesses needs to take proactive security measures, including what? Implementing strong cybersecurity framework. You use firewalls, encryption, and endpoint protection. Next, which is very important, is to train your employees. You need to train your staff to recognize phishing emails, social engineering tactics. I know I have been talking about phishing emails for the longest time, and I will keep talking about it until some of us will learn. Conducting regular security audits by identifying the vulnerabilities. Now, when I keep talking about vulnerabilities, is weaknesses, right? And strengthen the weak points. Developing an incident response plan, being prepared to act quickly if an attack occurs. So what is a firewall? Firewall is a network security device which is being designed now to monitor, to filter, and controlling incoming and outgoing network traffic based upon what? On predetermined security rules. The primary purpose of the firewall is to establish a barrier between what? A trusted internal network and untrusted external networks. Enforcing multi-factor authentication is to reduce unauthorized access risk. Maintaining secure backups. As I keep talking about the backups, if you're a small business, you may not have the money to hire database administrators. But there are certain things you can do. Ensure regular backups are in place, because if you have a database administrators, they will back up each time you insert data into your system. But some smaller businesses, I believe you guys have like the Excel spreadsheet that you can just write everything there. But hopefully you should have like two and save one somewhere that should, in case something happens. That just like there's something we call another document, they call it a contingency plan. So contingency plan, that you plan for unforeseen circumstances. So if you write something in a ledger or Excel spreadsheet, you can save it, you can give it to a friend somewhere to save it, so that in case fire or something occur, an incident occur within your organization, you will go back and take that information. Since you don't have the money now to hire a database administrator, you will still be able to utilize it if you know what to do. Investing in cyber insurance, you get financial protection against the cyber related losses. In conclusion, cybersecurity is no longer optional for small businesses. It is essential for survival in 2025. They must act now to defend against what? Evolving cyber threat and ensuring what? Long-term security. So by addressing this cyber security threat now, businesses or small businesses can build a robust defense, meet growing compliance demands, and strengthen trust with customers, because you need to trust your customers and your customers need to trust you, right? And partners as well. Don't wait for cyber attacks to happen. Do not wait for that to happen, and take action today to secure your future in what? 2025. Why not? Well. This is where I got my information from. Thank you so much, my brothers and sisters, for listening when it comes to cybersecurity and small businesses for 2025. Queen Violet.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I think you would be very proud of me. I got a phone call today, and the first question she asked me is, "What's your date of birth?" And I kind of went, "What? Like, who are you? And why are you asking me for my date of birth?" The first thing I thought of was your cybersecurity stuff. And she says, "Oh, this is so and so hospital calling, and I need to make an appointment for you for such and such and such." And I am going through a whole pile of tests and stuff, so I had to make note of that one. But the way she came at me, it was like, "What?" And then the more she talked, the more I asked questions. So then I knew she wasn't trying to bowl me over. So I'm so proud of myself for a change.
And we're proud of you. We are so proud of you, Queen Violet, for protecting your identity, sorry, Dr. Benny, you go ahead.
No. I'm excited. Thank you, first of all, Queen. I don't know. I am excited, seriously. Queen Debbie, you know how you keep saying, and you will continue to say it, and no one will stop me when it comes to cybersecurity. DrBenny, I am here, and no one can stop me from presenting cybersecurity. Hey, Queen Violet, thank you. Thank you so much. I am proud of you. Yes, you know that there are a lot of scammers out there. The hackers are out there. And again, now that Unpassive is back, right? We are here. I will do what it takes. If you are ready to listen, you got to protect yourself. We are back, right? Take care. Protect what? Remember the password. Password. People are here to fool us. And nobody, remember, whenever anybody asks you for anything, call me. You know how Dr. Derry will say, call me. All right. Thank you so much, Queen Violet. I love you guys. Thank you for understanding and listening, knowing that cybersecurity is very important, not only within Unpassive, our company, but all over the globe. Hackers are out there doing everything to steal our information. Please protect it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. I raised my hand up as you're talking because I had two things to share from your presentation. And all of this happened today. I had a phishing thing for Google, which I have my card, and for the past 10 days, the messages have been coming in saying my videos and photos will be deleted because I have not paid. So I have to click here and go there. But I clicked. I have a lot of experience with this. I clicked and to see. I know it was phishing because of the address where it came from. I clicked to see what sort of information they were asking for. And they were asking for my email address. I said, "You guys think I am a what, dummy? You just sent an email to me and you're asking me my email address." So I deleted everything and I blocked and all. I blocked. And on Sunday, my card was actually charged for what I have been subscribing to. And today, the people came back to me saying, "Oh, you have not paid for your subscription." I just didn't even bother. But anyway, it's just so much going on because as that was going on the Unpassive, one of Unpassive's forum, Unpassive Global Leaders or whatever that platform is, and someone put something there saying Elon Musk and whatever, but click here. And Queen Amandine and a couple of others are asking, what has this got to do with unpassive? Is Elon Musk part of unpassive and all of that? For me, I am Thomas. I always check out things. So they say all they need is your email address. That's all they need. They don't. I have a lot of protected things, so I just put my email address, and then they started asking about my address, my first and last name, my address, my phone number, um, my age, and then income and all of that. So what has that got to do when they said, oh, all you need is to get one thing from to get one whatever he was offering, all you need is an email address. Why are they asking the additional things? So I deleted and I unsubscribed. And they said, why did you unsubscribe? I said, I don't owe you an answer. So anyway, we're learning from you. That's why I say it does not matter where you are, where we're going, what we're doing. Please do not stop training because we are learning on a regular basis. Thank you very much, Dr. Benny. Over to you, Queen Tony.
Thank you.
Basically, I was going to say the same thing about appreciating you're giving all of this information, cyber information to us because since you've been doing that, I've been more aware and thinking about before I click on anything or answer anything or looking at numbers and phone numbers and all this other stuff. So and if I happen to answer, um, being careful not to say yes or no or anything of the sort. So we thank God. Well, I thank God for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Pastor Tony. Thank you, Queen Debbie McCormick. You know what? I can just sit here and scream. I appreciate you all. That whatever thing I come here and present, at least it is in here. And you guys are doing, especially Queen Violet. You guys are doing. I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. We all are excited. Does anyone have questions for Dr. T or Dr. B from both presentations or comments? This is the right time to do so, please. Welcome to everyone. We're only 19 of us here. This is where you all belong, anytime 24/7. Besides, excuse me. Besides Queen Tony, who just spoke, I see Queen Roslyn from Trinidad and Tobago, my darling sister who came back from somewhere. We have King Edgar that we haven't seen in a while. He's in the house. We have our one and only Dr. Derek. Oof! He's in the house, people. Can you imagine that? Queen Theda, we welcome you. Brother Carlton is in the house. And Queen Joan, nice joining us tonight, and thank you for that awesome, outstanding presentation. Dr. T, Queen Doris is in the house, Queen JW, King Kumaran, Malaysia, Singapore represented, Queen Nancy, Queen Lily Lane, Queen Janet, Queen Horace, and Queen Rita. We all appreciate you for being with us tonight, and this is a time for Q and discussions with our presenters, Dr. Benny, and then Queen Violet after Dr. Benny.
Yes, please. I just want to read something from Queen JW. Awesome presentation, Dr. T. I can relate with you with all four because throughout life, I have experienced each of those four. But I know that I can do all things in Christ that strengthen me. Oh, man. Anyway, Dr. T was excited about it. King Horace, wonderful presentation. Queen Dr. Benny, glad to have you here. We learn so much each week. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Queen JW said, thanks for the amazing cybersecurity presentation. Well, I appreciate you guys because as I present, it stick into your brain that hackers will not play over your intelligence. Queen Violet, proceed, please.
I just want to say thank you to both of you for being presenting so that we can learn and understand. Big deal about learning. You need to understand it. And you guys make it understandable. So thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Queen Violet, for your acknowledgement. We all love you.
Thank you, Violet. Thank you very much.
Queen Debbie, proceed, please.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Queen Violet, we appreciate you for your dedication is an understatement. How many years all of us who are here have been here and are still here? I'm from Cameroon, and there's something we say, Watago left stone. The rock is always going to be, stationary, and the water will meander around it and find its way to the next destination, but the rock will always remain. And the path of the water may create some dents on the rocks, but that's just a partial thing. So we've been here, we are here, and we'll continue to be here. So thank you all. One or two are gathered, we'll continue to go, and the life goes on until we reach our destination, right? Listening and following our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufare. So in the interim, I will say the one and only person who brought us together to this platform is Dr. Derek. And I don't know, for some reason, I think I would like to have him just share a comment with us before we close for the night. And I would like him to also close tonight. But that will be after our presenters have made their comments, but I would like to hear from Dr. Derek. Dr. Derek, thank you. We appreciate your dedication for giving us your time, not only on this forum, but all the other forums that you dedicate your time in supporting on a regular basis. We appreciate you. We thank you. And we always will continue to appreciate and thank you. So here I will say over and out.
Have mercy. All right, peace, blessings, and enough love to everyone. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you very much, Queen Tunishai, Dr. Tunishai Ford. Really appreciate that wonderful mindset. Even though it's just four, we know you have more. All right, so thank you very much. And Queen Dr. Benny, First Lady, someone spoke with me early today and talk about there's some, I think it's our is Facebook. I think it's our Facebook, either our Facebook or Telegram or Instagram, one of them, I don't remember, that someone is posting something on it for people to get money from them, from persons on our Facebook. And she was asking how can she stop that from happening, persons pasting on her Facebook with messages inviting people to give them money on her behalf on her Facebook. which she says she did not do. Do you have any info on that by any chance?
I will get back to her. Yes, I will get back to her if I can get her number to
Okay,
communicate with her.
it's Queen Yvonne Campbell, I think. I think that's what her name is. But she's been here a couple times. I told her to come on the webinar tonight because you'll be here. But I don't see her.
That particular individual stole her information, hacked into her stuff, her Facebook. So I just have to get some information and get back to her.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. But anyway, wonderful presentation. First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Awesome, awesome. We cannot do without you on this deep dive because you would really do some deep diving into cybersecurity. Persons are well aware of, some of the cruel things. I don't hear anybody talk about pickpocket. It's like nobody not picking anybody pocket anymore. Everybody is stealing people information online now, or trying to steal people information online. Don't hear of no pickpocket anymore. So, all of that is of the past. So let us really pay strict attention to whenever our First Lady speak on cybersecurity, because that is where all the crimes are, majority of the crimes are taking place. A lot of crime is on cyber security. So this is where you need to get the information and how to protect yourself. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny, and thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Thank you. And thank you, Queen Debbie. Really appreciate. How is King Jim? Good? All right, all right, all right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
He's
Tell
fine,
him, tell
and
him,
all
te-
the girls are home this week.
tell him that I miss him.
Oh, he's in La La Land.
Tell him I miss him. Tell him I need to at least see a glimpse of him one evening.
I will when the girls leave.
Even a glimpse or a little wave or something. Tell him I long to see him. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. We appreciate you too. Awesome. All right, Dr. Derek. Oh, we're so honored to have you to share with us. At this moment, let me say we're going to thank everyone who has been with us. And remember, I see something that there might be a webinar tomorrow or Thursday, but I think it's set tomorrow. So if the link is available, we'll be ready for it whenever it shows up, right? But in the interim, I want to thank our wonderful presenters and would like to call on Dr. T to give us her last word for the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
This
welcome.
this evening, I shared 4 of the 12 barriers that get in the way of being and staying motivated. And let's not take that for granted. Don't look at that lightly, because, like I said earlier, energy is the most important commodity that we have, which is paired with motivation. We can't achieve anything unless we're motivated. If you look around, where you are, even in your own state or in your own city, you have a lot of people who are not motivated. They may be homeless, they may be on drugs, whatever they may be doing, but they're non-productive people. Those are people who lost hope. Those are people who have lost visions. Those are people who are not motivated, and then definitely not using their energy possibly. So we covered 4, be fatigue and burnout, fear of failure, limiting beliefs, and attaching to a conceptualized self. So oftentimes the first step is the most challenging one. Once we're able to see and experience the rewards of our efforts, it compels us to want to do more. So it's by taking direct action that we become motivated. Remember, motivation is a force, and it's a force that helps us achieve every aspect of our lives that we want to achieve. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. We appreciate you and we look forward to hearing your voice every Tuesday on this platform. And I know you also have a dedication in other platforms of Unpassive. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank
Very
you.
much. Dr. Benny, your final words, please.
Thank you so much. As you all know about the topic, cybersecurity tendency or the trends for small businesses in 2025. We'll talk about what is cybersecurity based upon the company that I used to work for, Homeland Security, but CISA, which is Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, defines cybersecurity as the art of protecting network, because everything is on a network, right? It's the art of protecting network, the devices, and the access or criminals that they use and the practice of ensuring what? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information or data, right? So every organization uses some form of what? Information technology, whether it's the bookkeeping, especially for small businesses, right? They do track what? Shipments that comes when you purchase goods and services, right? Service delivery, you name it. The data has to be what? Everything that we have, our data has to be protected seriously. And we have cybersecurity awareness training, which is very important, not only within Unpassive or within small businesses, but the training awareness is important and it is mandatory. So human errors does occur, right? It remains the top cause of the data breach. Now, in 2025, regular cybersecurity training for staff is not an option, but it is what? It is a necessity. So prepare today to secure for tomorrow. Small businesses are no longer too small. No, they're no longer too small to be a target. Now, in 2025, which is this 2025, staying ahead of cybersecurity threat means what? Embracing the proactive tools, educating the teams, and adapting to what? Evolving the technology or the technical landscape. Cybersecurity is no longer a back office concern. It is what? It is a business priority. So the businesses that thrive in 2025 will be those that make cybersecurity part of their everyday strategy. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you guys. But let me tell you guys something. I want to take this moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing each and every one. Most importantly, our CEO, I always say our astonishing CEO, Mr. Ash Mufaria. As you all know, he is here to eradicate poverty and to uplift humanity. He is determined to make you and I happy. Are you guys excited? Are you guys ready for Unpassive? Thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. We appreciate you for everything, as Dr. Seuss will say, from head to toe. We appreciate everything you give us on a regular basis. Yeah, you can see Queen Dr. T is just clapping. We appreciate each and every one of us who is on the platform now, live or on the YouTube channel, and those who will listen to us in the future. We want to say we appreciate each and every one of you for joining and supporting this platform called Deep Dive. We look forward to seeing you. And at this moment, we're going to move to the next segment of our webinar, which is the after party. But before we do that, I just want to remind our viewers that we have other sister platforms that we work with. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we meet here at the same time as today. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget that deep dive. And on Thursday mornings, we have Singapore, Malaysia Global. On a daily, I think now with Yvonne Mundi and Yvonne Finn, they have it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm not sure if that's what it is, or on a daily basis in the afternoons at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The things are evolving, so please do not unquote me. I quote and you can unquote, because things are evolving based on the requirements of what's trending in on passive and in the various platforms, and the capabilities and ability to continue to fund from out of pocket or loans for to help them educate platforms. But the two that I did not mention were Mondays. We have Queen Sister Miriam Edwards on the Mindset Mondays. Please do not forget to sign into that one on Mondays in the evenings. And the last but not least is the Dream Team, which has been on for the past 5 years, every Sunday, non-stop, 12:45 p.m. every Sunday. So if you missed anything for this webinar tonight, you can get it. The link will be posted and the recording is available. But do not forget to join all the platforms that I just shared with you. We appreciate you. We thank you for following us every Tuesday and Thursday on Deep Dive. Thank you. And stay with us as we move from this segment to the after party, which will be moderated by our one and only Bishop in the house, Bishop Harold. And he usually does it with our Queen sister, Queen Dr. Nadu. Rain or shine, this goes on a regular basis on Deep Dive. Welcome, Bishop, and the microphone is over to you and your team. I know you have a backup and a host of them. And I must say this before the end, that I'm so delighted and grateful to see our brother, King Edgar. I have not seen King Edgar in a while, and he has an outstanding voice. King Edgar, when he has to sing, he sings from head to toe in every single alto, soprano, whatever. It's good to see you, brother. Welcome back. We missed you, as Dr. Derek will say, we missed you. It's good to see you in the house again. Instead of letting King Carlton and Bishop be the only men in the house, besides Dr. Derek, we're glad to see you. Welcome back home. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
Recording stopped.
Bishop, it's up to you.